Hello, hello. How are we?
How we
Yeah,
doing?
good
How
to
we
have.
doing?
Yeah, how are you doing? Good to have you on.
Yeah, I'm doing very good. I'm doing very good. I'm having quite. I was at the gym this morning, which is why my hair's wet. But yeah, feeling a bit
Very
sore
nice.
after a good session. But it's
Very
good. It's good.
nice. Very nice. Sane and solvent. Crypto treating you well.
Yeah, crypto's doing not too bad for me at the moment. It's through the season with my racing and stuff. I've had to take profit and things a bit early due to me being a bit lavish with some moves and some damage. But It's it's all going well. It's all going well. Looking forward to the winter time when everything really starts to pick up. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
looking
should.
forward to that.
It feels like stuff's heating up a little bit. I've not even looked at the charts today, but I know that crypto is just moving.
Neither I was trying to
Incredibly.
get it up on my screen when I was
Yeah,
backstage, but I didn't want to kick myself off.
yeah. I've not even looked at anything today. Yeah. So I guess it'd be interesting to sort of delve a little bit into your story. Obviously, we met through Crypto Saving Expert.
Yeah.
How did you sort of find yourself in that realm and in sort of the crypto space as a whole?
So I sort of found myself. I met Jordan personally, that Martini guy personally at Silverstone for a mini challenge test day that I wasn't competing in, but one of my good friends, Max Bird, who's also a CSE member. He was like, "Oh, come down to Silverstone. It'll be a fun day." And that's when I kind of met Jordan, and I started slowly introducing myself. And this was during the time when the majority of the stuff on CSE was free. So I just started doing courses, more courses, sort of learning. Um, and then when CSE became, you could buy into the Discord and stuff like that. That's when I kind of jumped into it and met a phenomenal network of people. Um, Me, Spud used to have calls like pretty much every one or two a week, and kind of went from there. Really, it was kind of I never really expected to be involved in this crypto. Obviously, I seen all the when I when I was on TikTok, you'd see all these guys. Oh yeah, you can make millions trading crypto, all that sort of stuff. And but I always kind of knew that that was a not a scam. No, yeah, a scam because you're not going to make millions without losing losing a lot. um, But yeah, it's a pretty natural way getting into crypto. I think I wasn't forced into it. I kind of done it all on my own back. So through the massive help of Jordan and Spud and Block Pro as well, like those guys have helped me a lot. So yeah, but still lots more to learn. Still lots more to learn. Always stay. Oh, there's so much to learn, man. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, which is the main thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird cycle so far. I know a lot of CSE has been it's been interesting. I think we've had some nice wins in CSE and Jordan's overseen
Mm,
some interesting things, particularly obviously I think Chippy, the fun of Chippy and that lovely meme season. It feels
yeah.
now like it's the move back towards the large caps and more from that trading perspective. I know there's a few I know you're sort of more around the large caps. Is there any sort of
Yeah.
that you've got your eye on in particular that you see quite a positive outlook on?
Oh, I absolutely love Solana. Solana's my favorite. There's nothing worse when I think I was when I sort of transitioned to moving more towards Solana. I used to do everything, most of my USDT stuff through ETH. Um, so paying the gas fees, I was paying like $20 fees, and I'm like, surely there's got to be another way. And then I do it on Solana, and it's I can't even remember. I've not got enough time to tell you how many zeros were on the middle of the fee, but it was so small compared to it, and I was I absolutely love this. And then especially with integration with like Phantom Wallet and Solana memes, and naturally the way that happens is that people take profit on memes and then they'll hopefully hold Solana. So over a longer period of time, I have a very good outlook on Solana. I'm not going to give price predictions, but I think it will go at least maybe 2 3x from where it is right now. At least I think it's absolutely fantastic. More of a Borg as well. I like Borg. As we were discussing this off stream as well, that I got myself caught out. I just think Swiss Borg is fantastic. That's what I use for all my off ramping. And if I want to take profit on my Phantom wallet through exactly what I done with Chippy when I took profit with Chippy, I sent it my Solana straight to Swissborg, and within 3 minutes, the money was in my account. It's just fantastic. I absolutely love Swissborg. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah.
Anyway, what you got your eye on?
What have I got on my own? So, um, I think I I love Ethereum, and I've sort of always been in that sort of Ethereum sphere. Um, I really like, as a sort of asymmetric opportunity, I've been moving a lot towards the layer twos on ETH. So I've been buying a lot of Celestia. I've been buying a lot of Optimism. I've been buying a lot of one called Scroll Network. That was one that I got put onto. From a large cap perspective, I think Sol's really strong, and I think I still hold quite a nice bag of Sol. Not as big as it was previously. I sold a lot when the Trump coin was there. So when I saw
Yeah,
Solana at 280, 290, I thought this is probably quite a good opportunity to sell
yeah.
some. I wish
No
I'd
one's ever
spotted
gone
it
poor
when I
from
saw.
taking profit.
Yeah, I thought, what is more bullish than the president launching a meme coin on the day of him becoming president? And yeah, it's been a bit of a. And to be fair, I didn't want to hold too much crypto in his first 100 days. I wanted to kind of get out of a lot of things. But yeah, that November December period last year was it was biblical, wasn't it? That run up. I remember
Yeah,
I stayed up all night of the election, and when it started to swing Trump's way, I just thought, right, balls on the table time, and I just went very, very long on a lot of things, and spent the
yeah.
last spent
So
those few months.
I decided to stay out of that because I kind of made the decision that I wasn't experienced enough and knowledgeable enough at that time to really make good financial decisions for myself. Like I would more be a guessing game, and I didn't want to be doing that. I didn't want to be playing a guessing game with everything that's going like that, and I'm getting
Yeah,
grayer and grayer. Like,
yeah.
I'm kind of more at this present moment. Sorry, on you go.
I was going to say, when it starts to move and you're chasing, that's always the difficult bit. Is
Mm.
trying not to FOMO in, but also once the move starts, it's then at that point where if you go in late, you'll get chopped.
Yeah, especially with your trading discipline. If you're looking for a move and you've charted it out and you miss it because you've just missed it in the charts, like I don't chase that. I just like right, will always be the next one. I'm just going to go for that. I think
Yeah.
that's whereas before, I used to Jordan used to joke all the time that whatever Stuart does, do the opposite. Because I used to, but I've made some good money through. I've made a lot of money actually through Frontier. Frontier was my first big win. Frontier was my first big win. I bought Frontier very early. I can't remember. I've sold it and I haven't thought about it since really. Um, that was what March last year.
Yeah.
February, March last year. Throw up a chart. It's honestly the best chart you'll ever see.
Oh, I loved Frontier. I loved Frontier. That was a lot of fun.
And actually, I'm going to look at my trading view now. And are we allowed to discuss amounts or are we not allowed to discuss amounts? I made pretty considerable amount of money on that, and ever since then, I've been close. I've been close to other things. I've been close, but Frontier will always be in my heart as my first big crypto one.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. Well, there's certain ones and certain occasions that stand out big for me.
Mhm.
And I think one of the ones that really stands out for me, not necessarily the biggest, but one of the best, is I was on a stag do in Amsterdam in December, and I'd gone quite long on something called Cow, and the market was beginning to turn, and I was starting to get a little bit worried because I was very, very exposed. And I remember texting my mate Justin and saying, like, I'm holding on to this, and he went, I can't give you advice, but Cal may do quite well. So I was like, okay. 3 days later in Amsterdam, I'm incredibly hungover, and I look, and Cal has gone from 30 cents up to $1, and I
Oh wow!
I made quite a considerable amount in that day in Amsterdam. The rest of the stag do had gone home, but I had a mate who'd come over I was spending an extra 3 days there. So he'd come over on the Sunday. So that was a fun time. I loaded up my crypto card and just said, look, today's on me. So we went and had a nice Chinese meal at the restaurant in the red light district. And then, I may or may not have let him go window shopping with my card, but that's a stream.
As soon as the frontier money hit my account, I went and I was actually at the track. I was at Knockhill, which is a local track to me because I stay in Scotland. Apologies for my shed, by the way. I'm trying to do it up, so I'm in the middle of it. Stuff costs a lot of money these days to do stuff up, so I'm trying every little bit. So, I was like, I've always wanted to race the Scottish Minis, which is what I'm doing now. So, and I was like, okay, I can actually afford to do this now, and went and bought a car that it was the only car that I could buy without spending like 12 grand on building one, which I didn't want to do. And I've still got that car now. I've obviously upgraded it a lot since I bought it, but it's just you need a job, not a job like crypto, but like a side hustle. I use more crypto as like a side hustle. I'm not full time in it yet. It's something that I'd love to be, but yeah, you need something like crypto where you can, if you're in the right place, you can multiply money quite quickly. Because in racing, you can. I think at Cadwell Park, I did about 3.5 grand's worth of damage in one incident. So,
you'd be a little bit Max Verstappen-y, go for a gap that wasn't there.
Well, kind of, yeah. My engineer will tell you that. But I'll tell you that my brake pedal that wasn't working, and it honestly wasn't working. I know what I'm doing in a car, and when I hit the pedal, it should work, and it didn't. But do you know what? You live and you learn. But yeah, it's
What is the dream racing car then? Like
touring cars.
Yeah, touring cars,
100%. I've never been. Obviously, Jordan and Max race GTs. And I went over to France with him last year to race GTs, and Jordan's got a funny story about that. He doesn't find it so funny, but it's I pretty much accidentally might have left the door open to the villa. Which I obviously didn't mean. I'm not an idiot. Like, and I've never really been at. GT cars are cool, but touring cars is what I've always wanted to do. And that's what. The T-shirt I've gotten today is one of the touring car teams, so quite fitting that I've got this on. But the money in it's crazy. The money in it's absolutely mental. Even for what I'm doing, I'm in a bottom level series, and it's 35,000 a year to race.
Crikey. Yeah, I've never really been too much into it. I mean, I go every year across to the Isle of Man for the TT, and it makes me want to ride a motorbike for, I'd say, about 2 hours before I realise I probably don't want to ride a motorbike.
No,
that's
you can catch me on one.
Yeah, that's a spectacle.
No, I think everyone who doesn't matter if you're a lover of cars or bikes or anything like that. The Isle of Man TT is just something different. Like the people who do that, and there's actually not a lot of There's I don't seeing like MotoGP and stuff like that. I don't see as much crypto exchange.
No,
I don't see as much crypto exchanges involved with MotoGP and bikes and stuff like that as I do with Formula One. Like, if you look at F1, you've got Binance, OKX. Who else sponsors F1? Crypto.com.
Yeah,
it's pretty much. I think everyone's just got a slice of the pie, really.
Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Whereas you go to motorbikes and it's basically just Monster Energy.
Yeah, everybody's sponsored by Monster Energy, and everybody's sponsored by Snap-on Tools or whatever, or Mac Tools. Or
Carl Cox, the DJ, has a team as well. He has a motorbike team. There's something about that that's just so, I don't know, just primal. Seeing them, how quickly they go, and that smell of petrol in the air. It's pretty. It's pretty indescribable. We sat on. We sat this year on a bit called Balacrane, which basically it's like this woodland, and you can go right up onto the verge, like next to the road, no barriers, and they come past you on your side of the road. Like if you wanted to, you could reach out and touch them. Obviously, you'd lose a hand and you'd go to jail and you'd probably kill someone. But and they go past at 200. I think that bit's 220-ish, and it's fucking nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah. I think I'm going fast at 110 in my little Mini, but it's when you compare to these guys, when they just like, well, I went to Superbikes last year at Not Kill, and they just blink and they just take off, and you're like,
well, there's no weight to them. It's an engine with a couple of wheels. It's unbelievable. And it's always quite funny, the Isle of Man TT, because everyone takes their cars over there. And you see so many. There was a Ferrari that flipped onto its roof, because obviously everyone goes over there, watches the motorbikes go past, and is like, oh, I can do this. And it's a place that has no speed limits.
Yeah.
No speed limits, beautiful open roads. It's a bit of a recipe for, and it's no tax. So it's basically got the triple.
Is that why you're over there?
No comment.
That's what you're over there. Yeah, you do all your a year's worth of trading in one day. There you go. I did it on the one day I was in Isle of Man.
Yeah. I'm an Isle of Man tax resident for these purposes. It's a bit nuts. Funny we talk about Frontier, actually, because I've been tracking. It rebranded to Self-Chain.
Yeah.
I mean, Self-Chain is not having a good day. I've just looked.
That's all right. I'm taking profit. It's fine. You can do it once.
It's down 25% today. So that's.
Has it got go to June last year? July last year, not July last year. March last year. There we go. I went full screen now. I don't have to zoom in on my screen.
Here it is. So I think we've only got the Polynex chart left. There's going to be no volume on this.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at that. That is. So I bought in September, before that run up, just before that run up in September. You know where the line is, just above September, right there, when it was at 0.17 or something.
Oh, here.
Pretty much where it is now, and I sold at $2. Yeah, so my first take profit was $2, then my second was 2.2, and then 2.4, and then 2.6, and I was like, it was an amazing time.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I remember I was in. I think I was buying in around here. My best one one of my is and it's probably my favorite P&L card is this one, because I had a long position from 89 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. I think I'd longed it around here in this summer. I closed it. I say closed it early. Where was I? I was about. Yeah, it was about 80 cents. I closed most of it around $6. Obviously, I didn't hold it up to 9, but this is.
Imagine a short on that though. Look at that.
You know what? I know someone who was short on it. It's so annoying. I'd seen it, and like he'd been talking about it. I was like, it felt like it was rolling over. But the issue with this thing is because the way it was manipulated.
Bag of it, yeah.
Well, the way it was manipulated is like why everyone got taken out. So the way it climbed here is what they would do is there was a really low float, so everything was locked up, and they'd sell locked up tokens to people, and then all of a sudden they'd inject the money that they got from selling the locked tokens to push it up. So here. There wasn't many tokens to be unlocked up here, so it just drifted. And then take out both sides just so no one's got a position on it. And then here they were just OTCing. And because they'd managed to hold it up here, is you can then OTC at a higher valuation. So you'd OTC here, and you might even say, oh, we'll do you an OTC at 25% off or 30% off. So you're basically OTCing them at this price here, despite the fact that so much of the token is locked up.
Yeah.
And then they just keep going. And then here was just, it was and I think it's more visible the fall on the 4 hour.
Jesus. What was the time span on that? It looks like a couple of days, wasn't it?
It was one night.
Oh,
It was one night.
Imagine shorting that and waking up to that in the morning. That would be insane.
Yeah. So what they do, so if you can see this, is you had this little bit of a sell-off here, which, as a sort of, if you're trying to market make this is basically where you start to get people either get stopped out or they add margin to support the position. That was the first one. So that was the one that took out some liquidations. Then you have this, and then because you've gone bang up a little bit and bang, is you then open the floor to just completely cascade it. So this is what is called a cascade liquidation. So you essentially clear out all the liquidity there. So there's absolutely nothing holding this up. And then that opens the door to being able just to absolutely just nuke it. As you have a lot of essentially when you get liquidated on the downside, the exchange has to buy the token. So they basically made all the short positions here, all the long positions here close, and then you can just absolutely send it downwards.
So they've done that on purpose
in the lead up. Yeah, and as you can see in the lead up, you've had that which has tried to take out some long positions, and then there wasn't really, the interesting thing is there wasn't really an upwards wick on it, apart from potentially if you're leading into Sunday here, you can see some of these upward grabs were there to try and take out some highly leveraged short positions. If you're short from like here, you're safe. But like if you were like down here trying to do quite, say, like 50x short, etc., this highly leveraged stuff, is that's what these were trying to do, is these were trying to take it out before beginning the cascade. And you can see it was 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and then the 4th hour they bang some smaller ones to tempt in some people to try and support the price, and there was just absolutely no floor. So then it's just bang, bang, bang.
I've never seen that before. That's tragic for people that got stopped out. But if you're on the right side of that, that's amazing. That's a life-changing trade. That if you could have made that,
100%. Like you make as much money on the way down as you do on the way up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
is that sort of your strategy anyway? Is to go? Do you trade altcoins rather than buying them, or just to quickly before we
you know what? I don't really trade that many altcoins. I've got a couple that I trade. I've been mainly trading gold, to be honest, and commodities, and just using that to buy some crypto. I tend to just set DCAs on stuff and have sell orders. So this one here, I'd had a DCA running basically from here all summer, and so I got some nice take profits up here on that one. And there's some stuff that I trade intra level, like ENA, that felt like a nice trade. But yeah, not so much. This thing is, I'm annoyed because I've been eyeing up this thing for a while. Camp Network, that's one to but yeah, anyway, I've got to drop, but it's great having you on.
No worries, mate.
I will drop.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Have you on again in the future, but
100%, man. I'd love to. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Thank you very much for the viewers.
All right, take care. See you later.